Welcome to Comic Splash on CIB24.com. For this week's episode, I look at some other dodge bullets in comic history. I talk about some movies that need to get made, and I give a brief superhero update. The only movie Tom Cruise is good in is Tropic Thunder, and a blackface Robert Downey Jr. still managed to upstage him. Next, Nick Cage. I'm sure this won't be the last time we see Ghost Rider's name pop up. But it's true, both Cage and Cruise were once set to play the metal man, Cage in '96 and Cruise in '98. Next we have Clive Owen. Yeah, he'd support that movie, but that's all he'd do. Next, Sam Rockwell. Ha! Justin Hammer wishes he'd have to get arrested, wake up in his neighbor's bed, escape from rehab, go to jail, appear in Ally McBeal, and he still couldn't feel Robert Downey Jr.'s tiny shoes. And finally, Hugh Jackman. Well, he's just too ripped. No man with that kind of cash flow is doing squats and push-ups. That's the whole point in the suit, dummy. He's rich. Moving on, let's take a peek at who could have played Spider-Man. Leo DiCaprio. Yeah, because we need another reason for a superhero movie not to win an Oscar. At least his doppelganger's in the new one, though. Who else? Eddie Furlong. John Connor can't even save his career, let alone New York. Next, Michael Bain? I don't know who that is. Next, Scott Leva. I don't know who that is either. Give me someone I know. Charlie Sheen. Okay, now to be fair, he's the only one who considered himself for the role. I wonder who could have played the Green Goblin. Nick Cage again? All right, who else has this guy tried to be other than Superman? John Constantine. The only hero Nick Cage can play is Big Daddy, and that's because he gets burned alive in the movie. But that's enough Nick Cage for my show. Let's move on to some movies that should get made. First up, Batman Beyond. This futuristic Batman is Terry McGuiness, a punk teenager turned good who happens to find out that Bruce Wayne is the legendary Batman. So when he finds out his father gets murdered, Terry decides to steal one of Wayne's suits to get his justice, and thus Batman Beyond is born. All done with the guidance of an elderly Bruce Wayne, of course. As a kid, this was one of my favorite shows, and the fact that they used Kevin Conroy, the Batman from the '90s animated series, is awesome. Now, the show only lasted 3 seasons, but the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker movie is one of the best animated movies I've ever seen. Terry's basically a dark Peter Parker, except he has no problem getting the ladies, and he doesn't live with an aunt that's clearly his grandma. Now, Will Friedle voiced him in the series, but something tells me Eric Matthews is a little past his prime. So I've compiled a list of top 3 candidates who I nominate to take on the Bat. My first choice is Logan Lerman. He looks just like the character and has some range, so just stop doing those stupid Percy Jackson movies and suit up. Candidate number 2, Alex Russell. He plays a reformed ball buster in Chronicle, and watching him try and be responsible with his powers is very Terry McGuiness. And finally, my last resort, Breaking Bad's Aaron Paul. Now I know what you're saying, but Tyler, Aaron Paul's too old to play a 17-year-old Batman. Well, Andrew Garfield's 31 and he still looks more like a teenager than Tobey Maguire did. And with Jesse's reformed character from Breaking Bad, this good guy turned bad guy persona is perfect for a teenage Terry McGuiness. Quickly becoming my new favorite comic book character, I feel a strong connection to Wade Wilson. Not only are we both terribly inappropriate thanks to voices in our heads, we are apparently extremely hard to find a market for. It ain't easy having such a warped sense of humor. You have no idea how many of my jokes don't get approved. And the same thing goes for Deadpool. He just doesn't fit into Marvel's PG universe, and you can't censor him. Deadpool is rarely seen outside the books, but has been voiced by Will Friedle, who better thank me for making him relevant again. God knows Girl Meets World won't. And Nolan North, most notably for the Deadpool video game. Now, Ryan Reynolds is supposed to play him after appearing in that mediocre X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, but that was 5 years ago. In order for Van Wilder to get the green light on this one, he should have said no to this green light. But according to his creator Rob Liefeld, Deadpool will appear in the X-Force movie set for release 2016. So that's good news. Up next, my last movie that will get made, but first, a trailer for Deadpool's awesome video game.
Oh man, zoom in on Tubbo up there. Stop dropping my camera, player. Thing was expensive.
And lastly, Gargoyles. And with Disney owning everything, a live-action Gargoyles movie will happen. Credited as one of Disney's most popular cartoons, Gargoyles are a clan of nocturnal Scottish creatures that turn to stone by day and protect New York City by night. Now, I have no clue who should play the gargoyles, but I do know this. With today's CGI and Disney's money, they should have no problem making this a reality. Alright, before I go, a quick news update. The Incredibles 2 gets the green light, Dexter's considering going blind for Netflix, Disney Infinity 2.0 is adding Marvel to the mix, and a TV spot for Michael Bay's TMNT has surfaced, which you'll be checking out after you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube and Daily Motion channel.
Remember, nothing is as strong as family.
No, chill. It's just a mask. See? Don't freak out.